Hi.
We are.
So I'm 15, so I'm in high school, and last year it was like really cool, and I understood everything, and I was having like a lot of fun. And then over the summer, I got to know you, and it was really cool. And then I was really looking forward to this year in high school because I learned so much. And then the year started, and it was a lot different. I wasn't as good in school as last year, and it kind of got me down. And
What do you mean? You weren't as good in school?
I didn't get the same grades.
Which really means?
My vibration changed.
Well, we're looking for something more literal. In other words, the things that you are learning in school, are they calling you because you have a personal, sincere interest in learning them, or a personal, sincere interest in pleasing someone else who wants you to learn them?
Well, I want to be intellectual. I think that's a really cool thing, but
Well, do you know what a genius is? All genius is, not a genius, but genius, all it is attention to a subject. Law of attraction takes care of the rest. In other words, you just can't focus on something without more information around it, gathering around it. So the reason that we're playing with you a little bit is because we really want you to contemplate what do you think is different last year to this year relative to the subjects and the grades that you're receiving?
They became more important. They seemed like they matter more when you get older because colleges start looking at them, and then there's pressure from your parents.
So what are you saying? Are you saying that somehow, without paying attention or really knowing how you're going about it, you've introduced more resistance to the equation of learning?
Yes, definitely.
So because it became more important, you're taking more close score of where you are, which is sort of the same as shooting yourself in the foot, yes?
I guess.
So the reason we played with you in the way that we did is because we know that when you want to know something, when a subject is interesting to you, you turn your attention to it and you go far beyond the requirements. Is there anything that you think that you know about anything that surpasses what any of the instructors in your class know?
I can definitely see different perspectives of a bunch of things that no one has thought about before.
So if we're grading you all on a curve, you get an A and your teacher gets a D?
Yes.
On quite a few subjects, really, when you think about it. Subjects that matter in this modern day and age, certainly. In other words, do you download to an iPod?
Yes. Well, it broke, but I mean...
But you know how, don't you?
Yes.
In other words, there are so many things that you are so advanced on that the system that chooses to give you the grades can't even begin to understand. In other words, you hit the ground running. You knew more than they know now when you were born. We're not kidding. Because you have the benefit of coming from this vibration of all-knowing into this time-space reality. They came from an entire different point of knowing and have been banging around in the physical ever since. You came here fresh, up to speed, and knowing, you see. Now, we're not giving this to you because we want to put them down in any way or because we want you to. We're just wanting to shore up your understanding of who you are. We want to call your attention to what life has caused you to ask for and your relationship with it. And we are not nearly as interested in talking about the relationship between where you are on a subject and where your teacher thinks you should be, and the subject of where you are and who you have already become. So when you know that there isn't anything that you turn your attention to that you can't excel in, then you let go of that resistance that says, oh, this is harder than before, and therefore I should have more trouble with it. It's not a matter of anything being difficult, because the source within you will guide you to the answer, or to the solution to any problem effortlessly. And when you know that, then it just unfolds before you.
Last week, actually, I was doing chemistry homework, and it was really cool because all of a sudden I wasn't even thinking, but my hand was like writing the answers. And I wasn't thinking about chemistry, I don't think. I was just I try not to, but but it was just really cool, and I didn't understand what I was doing that was different than in class that day, because in class I didn't understand a word the teacher was saying. And then
let us tell you why. Let us tell you what the two differences are between being in the classroom and the experience that you had. When your teacher is your tutor, your teacher is standing there in that grounded earthly place, seeing you as unknowing and trying to call you into knowing. Your inner being is standing over here where every answer to every question has already been formulated for you. Your inner being sees you as knowing and calls you to knowing. And when you feel like you know, even before the details of it have been revealed, you go easily to the solution. When you feel like you don't know, it's a long, hard road. And that's the thing that's hard for teachers. So many teachers have been focused upon so many students who have been forced to focus upon so many things that they didn't want to focus upon, that teachers now have a basic vibration that goes something like, learning is going to be hard for you because learning is just hard. And when you buy into that, then learning is hard. But we want to say to you, anything that you want to understand will come easily to you. Which, from what we hear and feel from you, is everything. You want to know about everything. So the question that we want to put to you, and that it would be good for you to put to yourself, depending on how you're feeling. When you're feeling joyous, you don't need the question because you've got the answer. When you feel joyous, the answer is, Source is calling me toward this. When you feel uncomfortable or lethargic or disinterested or bored or confused, stop and just say, I'm being prodded to the solution rather than called to it. And that's what a lot of teachers do. They're trying to prod you. They're trying to prod you to the answer. They're trying to prod you. You got to study, and you got to try hard, and you got to pay attention. And we say some of the best answers come, as you said, when you're not paying attention. Because often what you're paying attention to is where you are. And if you're paying so much attention to where you are, in other words, step one is step one, step three is step three. And if you're beating the drum of step one, then you're in the vibration of the question. If you're beating the drum of step one, you're in the vibration of the problem or the question. And you can't get to the solution that way.
So if I was in class and what we were doing, I was on a different vibrational frequency because I just felt like I was being prodded, would it be accurate to just think about the mall during class? And then would I be able to do my homework?
Chemistry, the mall. Chemistry, the mall. Chemistry, the mall. Use anything all day, every day as your excuse to tune in to who you are. And when you tune in to who you are, all that you know is yours in the moment.
Sounds good.
It is good.